Colin, Darko was talking about your ability to pass as an overthought point of your game. Well, what do you think of yourself as a passer at this level, at this speed?
Um, I would say like from really high school to now, been a pretty high IQ player. Obviously try to make the best reads as possible, if that's making the right pass to my teammates. And I always have trust in them to make a shot. Like on the transition where I hit Grady, I always gonna trust him to make the shot. Regardless if it goes in, I'm gonna hit him on the next one as well. So just to have that trust in my teammates and, just try to make the right play every time.
So the one, I think, to RJ for a dunk, he was cutting and diagonally through the lane. That's not a play many rookies would see because of the speed that it works at. Can you walk us through that?
We practice it. So if you practice it, obviously you're going to be able to execute it in a game. But yeah, we just work on it so much. So just trying to apply what we do off the court and then practice with the guys on the court against the other team, I think is very important.
To that point, like most rookies come in and talk about the speed of the game as being the biggest adjustment. Not to say that you're not adjusting to that as well, but it certainly hasn't looked that way. Like, what do you attribute that to? Is it because you play the game at such a fast
We went through
speed?
so much, like preseason.
Yeah.
Like you have summer league, you got training camp, obviously practicing with the guys for I don't know how many months after or before the season starts or anything like that. But you have all of that to get adjusted and try to do that at the highest level. And my teammates obviously going to help me out with that. Coach is going to help me, walk me through everything that I need to, get right and stuff like that. And they still are. Like I'm still looking at my coaches for pointers. I'm still looking for my teammates for pointers on just what to do if I make a mistake on the court. Just try to, learn as much as possible my first year or so. In my second year, I can make a really good jump.
Of your teammates, who's the most vocal in terms of like pulling you aside when something like that happens to point stuff out?
This is a luxury, having all of these guys that have been in all types of positions around the league. GT obviously he's our main vocal guy on the bench. That's his role, to be a voice for everybody on the team. He's been in the league the longest on our team, so he's seen the most. So using his knowledge, his brain, and being able to pick up what he's trying to tell me. But we have the whole roster has something that they could implement into my game. They're all doing a good job of trying to make me the best person possible for the team.
I'm sure you've heard it from coaches and scouts and know it yourself, but your hands are a really big part of your game. It seemed like the first few games it was like you were missing it by like an eighth of an inch. How did it feel this game? It seemed like it was the first one where things actually glued.
Consistency. Keep doing it over and over. Me, Darko, Evo had a good talk yesterday of just being consistent with how I play. I'm not really taking anything off. I know the reason why I'm here, to play defense and to do the little things. So just trying to do that to the best of my ability. Never shy away from who I am and who I was, and try to be the best version of myself. So.
Has he talked to you about the speed paradox? He brought it up.
The speed paradox.
Yeah. Okay, obviously. That's fine. He was talking about
Maybe in a different word, but I don't know about that.
Yeah.
You've been thrown into the starting lineup pretty quickly, and I saw you pregame kind of working through multiple different reads to see offensively.
Yeah.
How has it been to have to be a quick learner so far in the season?
I would say I'm pretty adaptable. I've always been adaptable, but trying to be able to play with any lineup, if it's me and Scott on the court, or even in the future if it's me and Yak, just spacing the floor and stuff like that, that's something that we really wanted to emphasize in this game, was spacing, and being able to let the other guys, if they're coming in transition, have freedom to get downhill and just be able to move frequently and fluidly, because in the Cavs game, we just were stagnant, didn't have space. I was clogging a lot, so, try to make it an emphasis on this game to really open it up for everybody else and make everybody else's life easier. But, just being adaptable is really big.
Do you have a preference, squaring up offensively,
No.
Facing up to the basket, or, you got the ball quite a few times in the short roll, made some plays out of that. Which is more comfortable for you?
Whatever coach tells me to do. I gotta work for the team. I gotta do my job. And if that's me making reads out of short roll or me facing up, making reads out of that, then that's what I gotta do. So.
Collin hit you for a pass that you finished with a dunk off a cut. He had 5 assists. What kind of passer is he for, considering he's a rookie, just getting to know y'all?
I don't think he's playing like a rookie right now. He's playing very well. He's having some big minutes, especially in these first couple games, I remember being a rookie, it was hard to figure it out. But, you know, he's playing physical. He's not afraid. He's doing the right stuff. So, yeah, man, he's playing great.
Your field goal percentage is up at career highs through almost 60%. Why is that so? Do you think?
Don't jinx me.
Sorry, man.
No, I said it when BI coming. Like, shots are a lot easier for me. You know, I think now there's, you know, another threat out there that the team has to worry about. So I think we're doing a good job of, you know, everybody sharing the ball, being in the flow, and we're kind of all shooting the ball well, to be honest.
Darko did say that your summer work really worked out. He said you had more time to do it because you didn't have to go play for somewhere. Is that true? Is you get a lot more time in the gym just on skill development?
Yeah, for sure. I can feel the difference now already in the season, and also just feeling a lot better coming into the season, feeling more fresh, having more energy in these games. Like it's definitely a lot. It's a lot different coming in, having the whole summer versus having to play during the summer. So you know, I'm excited about it.
I think your adaptability is a really underrated aspect of your game. Darko said that when he first spoke to you when you got here, you really wanted to make it work here. What does it mean to you to make it work here, to be on different forms of this team and to stay here and to play whatever they need?
It means the world to me, you know, probably more than anybody else there. You know, being a fan my whole life, watching everybody come through, you know, I was too young for Vince Carter, but Chris Bosh and DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, watching everybody, Jose Calderon, everybody coming through here, like, you know, me being here, it definitely means the world. And, you know, wanting to stick it out here and wanting to be here is something real. You know, Darko's not lying about that. First time I got here, he told me that first game, he's like, we're going to start you this first game, but, like, that doesn't mean that you're going to stay starting. So, you know, I'm up to the challenge. You know, whatever they're trying to ask of me, I try to do 100% every night. So, you know, I'm just really putting my heart into this.
Lineups with you and Scotty have really done well this season. Like, you guys are winning your minutes by a lot, but what is it about that connection between you and him on the floor that makes it easy to play with?
I don't know. Scott and I just look for each other. You know, he has a very, very high basketball IQ, so I think especially when he has the ball, you know, I'm definitely looking to make something happen because I know he's going to see it, you know, and vice versa. So much so that I threw the ball off the backboard today. But, yeah, no, Scott's always, you know, he's always solid all around. He does everything.
It's one of the hardest things to do to try and do more by doing less. You know what I mean? Like, no one not to take an extra chance or just to.
I think it takes experience.
Play.
Yeah, it takes experience for sure. I think earlier on in my career, I would be having a hard time, you know, playing in this lineup. Just, you know, not really being mature and stuff like that. But being here now, year 7, being older, having some experiences, I think now it's just really about the team winning and how you can help the team win, adapt to how the team is playing, you know, not necessarily just what you do or just what you want to do what the team needs, you know.
Darko is still pretty new to being an NBA head coach. He's obviously a couple years in now, but how did he earn your trust, you know, when he's still sort of doing his job as well?
I think, one, his character as a person, who he is. You know, at first I was like, there's no way that there's somebody so nice like this, you know, somebody who really cares like this. No way, you know. But, like, he's genuinely like that every single day. So when you have a coach that is going out there that cares about you, that really wants the team to succeed, but you also to succeed as a person, as a player, on and off the court, like, you know, that's a guy that you believe in, that you trust in, and you want to go to war for that guy.
You mentioned
sorry, Chelsea, after yours, we'll do 2 questions in French.
I was waiting for you to say that.
But Chelsea,
it's your day, so good.
You mentioned at Media Day, you know, finding a love of basketball again throughout the summer, throughout, you know, just feeling more rested. Now that you're like 7 games in, you know, team record is getting to where it should be, but do you still feel that, and more so or less so?
I feel great. I feel fantastic. You know, just doing the things I'm supposed to do every day, knowing how to take care of my body, and just, Yeah. Having that summer was nice, but don't expect me to have that summer, every year.
RJ, après un début de saison difficile avec quelques défaites, vous venez d'enchaîner 2 victoires de suite. Qu'est-ce qui marche maintenant, peut-être qui est différent par rapport au premier match que vous avez joué?
Les rebonds. On a beaucoup de rebonds maintenant. Et aussi, on joue ensemble et on a gagné, c'est tout. Ouais.
Moi, je veux dire, c'est un peu une redite de ce que tu as dit en anglais, mais est-ce que tu peux expliquer la différence entre un été passé avec Team Canada et là, un été où tu as plutôt reposé? Est-ce que c'est vraiment ça le gros facteur qui fait que tu as un très très bon début de saison?
Je suis resté maintenant, c'est tout. Je suis resté. Et ça c'est tout. Alors, tous les jours, quand je veux aller jouer au basket, je suis content et je veux aller jouer. L'année quand on a qui s'est passé, j'aimais pas le basket toujours. ouais, mais cette année, je suis très content.
Merci. Darko, we talked, I think, last time you guys were at home about improving your defensive effort. Certainly that stretch after halftime, you got multiple stops and able to put a little gap on them. That'd be a pretty good example of what you're looking for, I would think.
Yes, I think effort was there, effort was great, and what needs to follow is the discipline as well. You can put a lot of effort, but if you're not disciplined in your positioning and what you need to do and communicate with teammates, then it's going to be a problem. That's why I think that we did a really good job tonight of communicating outside of a couple of situations that we had to break down, but I thought that there was a lot of growth in that area for us tonight.
I think RJ's shooting, I think almost 60% from the field. Are you seeing getting better shots or better looks in the offense?
I mean, he did put a lot of work this summer. I do think that he's better shooter from three-point line, that he's taking really good threes as well. He's not forcing anything that's coming, off the dribble or some tough shots. And also the teammates are doing a really good job. He has such a good feel to get in the right spot on the court, to get in the open window. And his teammates are doing a really good job of moving the ball and finding him open. So that's great.
Look on Collin coming in, of course, is the high energy, the motor, and we saw a lot of that tonight on the boards and on defense, but also had a few really nice passes. I think it was 5 assists. Is he, how far ahead is he in terms of the way that he sees the floor as a rookie?
Comparing to what?
Most rookies.
Most rookies.
A week into their NBA.
Yeah, so he's a very talented basketball player. He has such a good feel for the game, spacing. He's really good in his rolls and pick and rolls. Tonight he had one lob dunk that Brandon Ingram threw to him. He just does a good job of being in the right place, and he competes on a really, really high level. I do think that it's not talked enough how good of a passer he is, but also he's adjusting to the speed of the game as well. He had, you saw that one in transition, he just threw the ball out. But all of that is part of learning. So I think he's doing a really good job, and we want him as with ball in his hands and to be playmaking in those situations.
Regarding both CMB and Scotty, they took a lot of threes tonight because you guys needed that spacing from them, but they also managed to combine for 11 offensive rebounds. How impressive is it for them to find that balance of providing spacing and trying to shoot over the top and also giving extra possession?
I think it's huge importance for us, especially when they're sharing the floor together. When Ya comes back, that's going to be sometimes it's going to be Sandro and CMB, Sandro with Scotty and CMB. Like, it's very important for those guys because they can do a lot of things offensively. Sometimes one of them has to space and the other needs to be in pick and roll, depending how they match up with us, where is the advantage for us. So it's very important for them to share the court as much as possible to start figuring out those things.
I was looking it up before the game, but something like 70% of Scotty's looks so far this season have been assisted. We've talked before about how important it is for him to be a roller and screener for this team. What has impressed you the most about his start this year?
Tonight he had 5 blocks. He had 8 assists, 12 rebounds, 5 of those offensive. and he was just making winning plays. Like when we needed stop defensively, he came up with a steal, he came up with a block, he came up with a rebound. So what I'm seeing with him is continuous improvement and growth, and he's such a guy that he cares so much and he puts so much into it. He's very capable to play with the ball in his hands, and every time that he catches the ball in the pocket pass, he was the one actually finding tonight his teammates for open shots in those situations. He's just a good basketball player. Simple as that.
How have you found RJ, your off-the-court chemistry and relationship has developed over your few years here together? RJ
is... from day one, you could see that he really loves being here, that he loves being in Toronto, that he loves being in this community here. He cares so much about Toronto Raptors, grew up as a Raptors fan. So he really wanted this to work out. And every time talking to him, he's always raving about the city, and he likes Mississauga a little bit better than Toronto. I'm just... but he's the guy that really takes a lot of pride in what he does over here, and he's doing a great job with his teammates on the court, off the court. There is so much good chemistry that he's creating on this team for us.